This presentation explores how the principles of Art Deco design were applied to fashion. Before watching this presentation, make sure to watch the video titled Art Deco in the 1920s. Art Deco began as a natural offshoot of Art Nouveau, with early evidence of the Deco style emerging just after World War I, about 1918. Those who came of age during World War I and the 1920s wanted more from life. They were disillusioned by the destruction of the World War. They clamored for glamour, and they were filled with joie de vivre. Later historians named them the Lost Generation because they lived for the moment in between two global conflicts. Art Deco style reached the apex of its popularity in the 1920s and 1930s, with the ultimate celebration of the new designs displayed in an exhibition held in 1925 in Paris. Many international exhibitions had promoted Art Deco and developed its influence, but none was more important than the Exposition Internationale. Thousands of designs from all over Europe were brought together, attracting more than a staggering 16 million visitors. For connoisseurs of visual style, Art Deco divides into two phases, Art Deco and Streamline. The first phase of Art Deco flowered in the 1920s, and that is the one we will explore here. We will explore Streamline during the next era in the 1930s. Art Deco, like its forerunner Art Nouveau, was a comprehensive style that included graphics, posters, architecture, interior decor, knickknacks, furnishings, and fashion. It embraced everything that serious art did not take seriously. Today we will see how 7 major hallmarks of Art Deco were incorporated into fashion: flat abstracted motifs, geometric shapes and sharp edges, surface, light and shine, dramatic movement, color blocking, dramatic color combinations, and glamour, especially seen through transparency and surfaces. We will see flat abstracted motifs in textile patterns and decoration and accessories. It's easy to see the geometric shapes of Art Deco in buildings and small accessories like jewelry, but a closer inspection shows that the garments themselves are made of geometric pattern pieces. Many of the garments themselves are simple tubes and rectangles that act like a canvas for the decoration. Accessories take on geometric and abstract forms, such as these compact cases for makeup and gloves. This style of dress is an excellent example of geometric cuts. The dress itself is made of flat rectangles and squares. If you lift up the skirt, you will see the hanging draped sections are actually squares and rectangles sewn in such a way that they drape down and around the body with gravity. This dress has a diamond-shaped pattern piece cut into it. If you look carefully in back, you can see a capelet that is a semicircle hanging from the shoulders. We can see the play of surface light and shine in dresses that use fabrics combining shiny and matte motifs or beadwork. On the right, we see an example of a metallic fabric called lame that is an important new style. These are the heels of shoes with decorated surfaces showing sparkling fake diamonds and geometric designs. The love of light and shine is particularly evident in Art Deco jewelry, where the fashion for light color metals, such as silver and platinum, continue from the 19-teens. Gemstones cut into squares become more fashionable, as fits the geometric shapes of Art Deco. Here we see several pieces of jewelry featuring gemstones laid right next to each other, completely covering the surface so that little metal shows. This technique is called pavé, or a paved surface. Art Deco incorporates dynamic lines that imply movement, such as diagonals. While not every dress in the 1920s was influenced by Art Deco, those that were incorporated strong diagonals in the pattern or cut of the ensemble itself, such as in these four examples. Another technique found in some dresses is color blocking, or creating large areas of color within a garment. These fashions illustrate that geometric seams cut into a garment added to the effect of creating blocks of color. Art Deco styling appreciated dramatic colors or color combinations. Colors associated with ancient cultures such as Egypt were much appreciated: coral, aquamarine, green, orange. While we will see many examples of more sober dresses in fashion, those that embody Art Deco styling most will take advantage of the return of synthetic dyes after World War I. Art Deco style incorporated glamour and smooth surfaces. In fashion, this glamour also translates to an illusion of nudity, using sheer fabrics that show the skin below or show a flesh color slip below it. Sheer fabrics also feature motifs added to them, such as the lace on the left or beading on the right. These shapes appear to float above the body on their own. We have a new material, an early form of plastic called bakelite. It was made from resin, available beginning in the 19-teens when it was first used extensively to imitate tortoise shell. It lends itself particularly well to Art Deco because it could be infused with bright colors and molded to shape. Wearing this form of plastic was not only much more affordable than real jewels, but it was a new material that made the wearer feel more modern. Art Deco graphics and styles were extensively used in architecture, posters, magazines, and everyday graphics. But many people lived in conservative or traditional communities. They saw Art Deco in its full glamour at the movies. Movie palaces sprang up all over America in the Art Deco style, and the silent films themselves brought Art Deco to the larger world. One important designer was Natacha Rambova, an American costume and set designer. She was born Winifred Shaughnessy, but changed her name during an early career with a ballet company. She was discovered by Cecil B. DeMille. Her 1917 film, The Woman God Forgot, seen on the left, featured an exotic interpretation of Aztec culture that is part of the rising obsession with ancient cultures in Art Deco. Salome, released in 1923, seen on the right, is widely credited with introducing early Art Deco to much of America in film. Salome is considered the first art film made in the U.S., and it was based on the controversial play by Oscar Wilde. Its highly stylized costumes and minimal suggested scenery created an atmosphere of desire rather than focusing on overwhelming spectacle. Rambova imported all the fabrics from a fabric supplier in Paris, using real cloth of silver and the latest French Art Deco motifs. This film was incredibly expensive to produce. It features some female courtier characters that were actually men in drag, and also featured some characters who were created to be stereotypically gay. It was available only in limited release, although the film and its designs were covered in fan magazines and the industry press.